probably time to go.
Right, it's an adult show. Yeah, it's an adult show. God, I love the new intro. Thank you guys for joining me. This is, of course, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. This is TDAU Live Episode 4, Christmas Baby by MC Molasses drops, and the Canary lives. That's right. The Canary in the coal mine, Alex Jones, is back. And, I don't know, hopefully he's going to keep the frogs from all wiping themselves out. Who knows? It's hard knowing, not knowing. But yeah, it's been a good week, man. Thank you guys for coming back. We got a lot to get into this week. Of course, the Bud Light boycott is over. Yep. Fox News is upset. Mainstream media is upset. Pretty much everyone's upset. So it's kind of funny. There's a lot going on. And but over here in Hickory's world, Sean commented in. He said the hunter has become the hunted. Hungry like the wolf. Can you smell that? Modern day warrior. Today's Tom Sawyer. He gets high on you. Yep, definitely rolling out some stuff on Hunter. We'll see what happens there. Probably wait to the following weeks to catch up on that, see if anything actually happens. Or it's like most things and it just kind of goes by. But yeah, the big news for the week is the Christmas song. MC Molasses and I spent a bunch of time this past weekend getting things trimmed and tightened up and mixed just right. And yeah, I'm gonna share that. This is Christmas Baby by MC Molasses featuring Kylie. I'm not sure what we're gonna call this female character yet. I'm thinking Kylie. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, this is Christmas Baby. There's a lot of bullshit going on this time of year. Sitting out here looking at all these fucking commercials and ads. All these companies, I don't give a shit. Just make a quick buck. But I figured I'd take time to say something I wouldn't normally say.
I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby. Jingle bells turns to commercial shit just like Taco Bell. The kids say the Batman smells, but we all know the fat man sells. I've been doing my best to be nice, keep myself up at hell. It's not that I'm scared of going, I'm afraid I'll do too well. Terrified that's where I'll be when I finally find myself. And that's why I'm talking to you, cause I don't know who else to tell. And I'm turning around real good, and I'm trying to do real well. But sometimes when I watch shameless,
Oh, muted. That was probably what he was saying, was click the button there. Yeah, I didn't know what the emoji meant. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we got a lot to get into. A whole lot to get into. Oh, Sean said no. Oh, Skidmoro. Thank you for being here, brother. No volume. Yes, that's I deduced that. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, yes, Christmas Baby's live on all the platforms and such. And I'll show you a sneak peek of the video. The first edit's done, and like most of my shoots, we're probably gonna go reshoot some shit before the second and third edit get done. But fairly happy with it, and yeah.
Feels like I watched myself, but then I fell in love. Now here we are. I'm writing a Christmas song in the snow outside of the car. And I don't know about us, and I don't know who we are, but I know I want you around, and you did not go too far. And I don't know what to say, babe. It's too much to go through. What you gotta do with
the bad news, take a bruise, looking to affect you. And all I wanted to say is Merry fucking Christmas, baby. Guess all I really wanted to say is I've been thinking about you lately.
Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe.
Anyways, yeah, we'll show a clip from that later on in the show. Let's get to the show.
Yeah, back, baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk. Now he's here doing the drunken, underwhelming live show.
This is a weird show.
Drunken, underwhelming live show. Drunken, underwhelming live show. Drunken, underwhelming live show.
That's right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm, of course, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming. Welcome to the drunk TDAU Live, episode 4, Christmas Baby by Molasses drops and the Canary lives. Yes, the Canary lives. Before we get into it, some important updates, some important dates coming up. This Friday, I don't think anyone watching is local, but I'll be down in Middlebury, the Marquee Theater, doing movie roast with my buddies GW and Pierre. That's right. GW lives. And hopefully he's going to have some stuff I can share soon, because we did a cool project a little while ago. Anyways, I'll be down there for movie roast. It's the Christmas special, and we're going to be roasting, we're going to be roasting the Star Wars Christmas special, which I've never seen, so that should be interesting as all hell. And sometimes those are my favorite, where I have no idea what the movie is going to be like. I just go into it blind, and I'm excited to make fun of Star Wars, because it's not my favorite thing, but it is one of my favorite things to make fun of. So, and other than that, next week, on the 20th of December, my friends, that's right, Saucy Santa is going to be back on the program, taking your questions, call-ins. Feel free to hit me up about getting a call-in or a video call into the show, and we will make sure that Saucy Santa gets your questions answered, because, the fat man's kind of important, and we have the benefit of having him for at least an hour. Pretty excited, not gonna lie. Anyways, let's get into this week in clown world. This one kind of made me happy, thinking the scales of justice might be tipping in the right direction for once. From the New York Post. Woman who threw burrito bowl at Chipotle worker is sentenced to work at a fast food restaurant. Yeah, I think this should be more common. People who are violent towards retail people should be forced to work retail positions for a while as their penance, because it beats the hell out of you. Not necessarily physically, like this poor person who got assaulted with the burrito bowl, but definitely as far as your emotional and mental well-being go. It's a grind. An Ohio woman who was found guilty of hurling a piping hot burrito bowl in the face of a Chipotle employee had her jail time lessened after agreeing to work at a fast food chain as part of her sentencing agreement. Rosemary Hain, 39, was found guilty last week of assault after violently flinging her food at Emily Russell, who was working behind the counter when Hain launched her obscene caught-on-video attack. Which, with any luck, that'll be an ad. We'll just, let it go. Just play the ad. You didn't get your burrito bowl the way you liked it, and this is how you respond, Parma Municipal County Judge Timothy Gilligan said during sentencing. This is not Real Housewives of Parma. This behavior is not acceptable. You go, Judge. Hey, oh, here we go. This is, the burrito bowl incident, as it were. Is there audio? Okay, no, let me share it so we got audio. We might want it. I don't know. But we'll get that shared in. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that was rough. No, be a little smoother, please. Please, New York Post, just let it. Yeah, people should go after her. That's Yep, and that's where I don't know how this woman responded. I got hit with a burrito bowl. But to be honest, the proper response is to just take off your apron, set it down on the counter, and say, well, you fucked it up for everybody. I'm out. Sorry if these other employees can't finish carrying on, but I'm not doing a shift covered in Chipotle burrito bowl juice. That's just not a thing that's happening. Hayne told the court and Russell that she was sorry for her actions before going on to say that food she was given looked disgusting. She wasn't sorry for her actions. She's sorry that she got caught on camera and she looks like a complete asshole. To be clear. If I showed you how my food looked and how my food looked a week later from the same restaurant, it's disgusting looking, Hayne said. Yes. So, as opposed to just saying, I'm not going to pay for this. I'm going to leave. I'll go eat at another establishment that produces food that doesn't look disgusting. No, this woman is like, yeah, I'm going to choose violence. And just pitches this burrito bowl right in this poor chick's face. And she's lucky she didn't get her ass beat. Because let's be honest, that's probably how a lot of people would have handled the situation. Is they wouldn't have just stood there and been like, oh, they would have hopped over the counter and handled things. Video taken of the chaotic September assault, which also went viral online, was played during Haynes' hearing. Yeah, because it's a good look. And can be seen in the clip slamming her order down on the counter while yelling at Russell for nearly a minute. Russell, who's working behind the counter, tries to calm the irate customer while the other customers start to take notice of her. Yeah, this is Russell. She's working behind the counter. This is Russell in court. Said felt like the sentencing was fair. So this was the poor chick who got assaulted with the burrito bowl. Sean said, but this logic, Dr. Poke joke must live the remainder of his life dressed as the gimp, dog leash and all. No, that would be justice. No, justice would be him being in the sand flea thing that they did with the beagles. That would be justice. Then from mere feet away, Hayne launches the burrito bowl at Russell's face, causing diners to gasp. I bet you won't be happy with the food you're going to get in jail, the judge said. Savage. Gilligan sentenced Hayne to 180 days in jail and suspended half of that, the judge said, hoping to teach her a sense of empathy. Then made an unusual offer. Gilligan told Hayne he would give her 60 days jail credit if she agreed to work at least 20-hour weeks at a fast food restaurant for 2 months. So like 8 or 9 weeks. She's got to do like 160 to 180 hours. That's not bad. That's like... So I thought, why should the city taxpayers pay for her and feed her for 90 days in jail if I can teach her a sense of empathy, Gilligan said. I also hope this deters others from this type of behavior. Yeah, because we all know, like, that's the worst possible sentence you could get, right? Is like... I think every day at the end of her shift, she should be hit in the face with the Chipotle bowl as part of that agreement. That would up the level of justice for me. I mean, we need to teach these people that this is not acceptable. Hayne took him up on the deal and said she planned to get a job at the restaurant. It's unclear whether that job would be and when she'll start to work. Russell has since found a job elsewhere following the traumatic incident, told the outlet she found the sentence fair. She didn't get a slap on the wrist, Russell said. Following the sentencing, a spokesperson for Chipotle told the Post, the health and safety of our employees is our greatest priority, and we're pleased to see justice served for any individual that does not treat our team members with the respect they deserve. Hayne could not be reached for comment, probably because, well, I wouldn't want to give comment either if I was that despicable human being. What a world we live in. And that might be the only fun one of the night. We'll see. I do have an interesting music one for later that's a little lighthearted. But, well, I guess we got a couple lighthearted ones. But first, before we go too far, I guess the boycott's over? Because Kid Rock said so, and Dana White said so, and I mean, I'm not going to drink Bud Light ever again anyways, just because it doesn't taste good. But yeah, I guess the boycott's over. So Kid Rock wants Bud Light to thrive again. This is from Newsweek, so take it with a grain of salt. But I do know that he did make a statement and shit. Musician Kid Rock appeared to change his stance on Bud Light after they partnered with transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney and said he hopes the brand thrives once again. Which is a very weird way to phrase it because there's other things that happened in between there, but okay. Kid Rock, whose real name is Who Gives a Shit, recently sat down with the former Fox News host Tucker Carlson to speak about the boycott of Bud Light and its parent company Anheuser-Busch, saying at the end of the day, when you step back and look at it, like, yeah, they deserved a black eye and they got one. They made a mistake. Newsweek reached out to Anheuser-Busch via email for comment. Yeah, it was a mistake, so do I want to hold their head underwater and drown them because they made a mistake? No, I think they got the message, Rock said. Hopefully other companies get it too, but at the end of the day, I don't think the punishment that they've been getting at this point fits the crime. I'd like to see people get us back on board and become bigger because that's America. That's the America I want to live in. If we brought them back, that's kind of the America I want to live in. There's nothing wrong with giving a spanking. You don't spank them for the rest of their life, Rock added. I mean, or you could find better beer. That's Kid Rock, John Daly interview on Tucker. Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't watch it. In April, he shot up some cases of Bud Light and helped drive the boycott and shit. Everywhere you have Bud Light, you also have Miller Lite and Coors Light. It's incredibly easy for consumers to switch. There's no real switching cost that's out there. Or you could like drink not crap. That's like if you're gonna put alcohol in your body, it might as well be decent alcohol. Like it's gonna, like if you're gonna poison yourself, at least use the good one. As a God-fearing man, as a Christian, I have to believe in forgiveness. He said, they make a mistake, all right. What do you want to do? Yep. So we read that quote already. So yeah, it's one of those, I guess that's over. And I don't know. I won't be buying it because there's too many good options on the market. But yeah, I guess that's a thing of the past now. Although I still see a bunch of comments online saying, yeah. Anheuser-Busch bit up more than they could chew, and everybody knows you should not go swimming in the gene pool after consuming alcohol. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't understand why there's a bunch of commentators shilling for a massive multinational company that's actually owned in Belgium that pretends to be an American company, but like, okay. Like, fucking even Tim Pool's coming out and being like, you should buy Bud Light again. It's like, no. Fuck you. There's too many good beers. Life's too short to drink shit lager. I'm not in college. I don't understand why. Oh, here's one I saw. I'm not going to share the audio. We'll watch the video. This was from, I saw the 5 queer states in the U.S. Here we go. Where is it? Okay. Number 5, Washington. Washington has a sizable LGBT community of 6.9%. New Hampshire, which was actually rather surprising to me. But then again, that's what you get with libertarians. Nobody gives a shit, which is the nice part about us. As long as you don't force it on us, we don't care. Oh, number 3 is Vermont. That's right. Welcome to my hometown. If they're so proud, why don't they hold that flag over themselves? I don't understand. But yeah, Vermont, LGBTQ plus community consisting of 37,600 individuals makes up 7.4% of the state's total population. And I don't know how they get these numbers because nobody asked me. I didn't get polled. There was no official question, because to be very upfront, I've maintained for years now that I'm gender fluid and technically belong to the community. And to be honest, I've spent a lot more money hiring drag performers than most average person who claims to be a drag advocate. So, let's see. And I mean booking performers, like paying actual money to performers to come out. That's the thing that I've done, because Hickory shows are fucking wild in person. I wish we could do the kind of shit we do on live shows on the internet and it hit the same, but it's not. Delaware. Yeah, that's right. Biden's home state. Who would have guessed? No shock there. You see how the smaller population is? 56,000 represents 7.5%. I mean, yeah, like they're as small as Vermont. It's It's a goddamn city that has 2 senators. I don't understand Delaware. And Oregon, just for you, Sean. That's right. Oregon holds the title of the queerest state in America with its LGBTQ plus population of 253,300 people, making up 7.8% of the state's total population. But yeah, that's not surprising here that we were number 3. So we tend to be in all the top lists: the whitest, the safest, the queerest. We're hitting them all up here in Vermont. That's for sure. Speaking of the Northeast and how diverse we are, from the New York Post, yet again, this is breaking about 3 hours ago. Boston mayor under fire for, quote, no whites Christmas party for city's, quote, electeds of color. Because what says inclusivity? Like not only inviting people who aren't one particular race. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is not dreaming of a white Christmas party, that is. An invite concerning the Boston's mayor holiday party, specifically electeds of color, was mistakenly sent by an aide to all members of the Boston City Council. Some 15 minutes later, that aide, Denise Dos Santos, serves as the mayor's director of the City Council Relations, blasted up a follow-up email flagging the embarrassing error. I want to apologize for my previous email regarding a holiday party for tomorrow, Dos Santos wrote. The white councils were not supposed to receive an invite. I did send that to everybody by accident, and I apologize if my email may have offended or come across as so. They had said, sorry for any confusion that this may have caused. Boston City Council is comprised of 6 minority and 7 white members. The revelation to the secret of no whites holiday party drew some backlash and sent social media flutter. Because let's be honest, what if this email went out and it was the whites only party? Boston Mayor Michelle Wu was reportedly asked to host the party for the electeds of color crew. Reuters City Council Frank Baker from Reuters. City Councilor Frank Baker, a white Democrat, bashed the move as an unfortunate and divisive, but stressed it didn't affect him personally. I don't get really offended too easily, Baker said. To offend me, you're going to have to do so much more than not invite me to a party. No, to offend you, Mr. Democrat in Boston Baker, well, if we're talking equality, like throw a whites only party and you will be crucified, my friend. That's the offensive part. It's not that you're allowed to have a non-whites party. It's that if you were to have a whites party or any other non-minority only party, it would be a giant fucking ordeal. And meanwhile, they just brush this off like, haha, no, we're not into anti-whiteism. Sean, they capture the flag, occupation of the captured property. Yeah, pretty wild. It's all captured, unfortunately. But this is Boston. I mean, let's be honest. The home of Harvard. And as my friends have openly admitted, one of the most racist cities in the country for a long ass time. And I think that hasn't changed. I think it's just changed who they're racist towards. I find it unfortunate that with the temperature the way it is, that we would have that further division, Baker said. The mayor of Boston invited only electeds of color to a holiday party. Email was mistakenly sent to all city council members, including the white ones. Our white councilman called it divisive. The party is still scheduled to take place and only black. There's a picture from Twitter. Let's see what, on behalf of Mayor Michelle Wu, I cordially invite you and a guest to the Electeds of Color holiday party on Wednesday, December 13th, 5:30 at the Parkman House, 33 Beacon. Please let me know if you plan to attend and if you have any dietary restrictions. Best, Denise Dos Santos. The party's still scheduled, taking place, and only black council members are invited. I don't know if that's quite right. Yeah, from the Boston Herald. Mayor Wu called me a white supremacist on a tour of terror. Leftists project their own racism. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Suck my balls, signed Oregon. Just to be clear, that was number 1 on the list, Sean. But yeah, hot damn. Black Democrat, seemingly poised to become the vice president of the city, the council next term, argued there wasn't anything out of the ordinary about the party. We make spaces we make space and spaces for all kinds of specific groups in the city and city government world, told the Boston Herald. Except for the white ones. Just asking for a friend. I'm curious now. There's no different. The elected officials of color has been around for more than a decade. So segregated holiday parties have been cool for over a decade now. You fucking bigots. I don't understand. Conservative social media was less than enthused by news on the racially segregated holiday party. I wonder why. Mayor was not dreaming of a white Christmas, and she will not be serving white wine tonight or white meat chicken. No pale faces into the Parkman House powwow. New England radio host Howie Carr joked on X. So in Boston, you can't attend the mayor's holiday party if you're white. How much longer are Americans going to tolerate this left-wing racist shit? Or sorry, crap. Conservative X-user Rod Dareher wrote, Mayor Wu is not dreaming of a white Christmas, and she will not be serving white wine tonight. Or white meat. Yeah, that one was the tweet. Earlier this year, Wu became engulfed in controversy over a so-called enemies list. I don't remember that one. Sean said, I say that in the least gay way possible. Hey, it's still number one, my friend. It's all right. I'm in state 3. We're good. To explain, defend controversial enemies list in court. Yeah. Yeah, she's a shining star who kept a list of enemies. Oh, and then asked the cops about at the list. That's great. I'm sure she's awesome. I'm sure Boston is doing phenomenal and totally not a crime-ridden shithole like the rest of the cities in the country. Here we go. This was a fun one from the Des Moines Register, because why wouldn't we have one? Iowa lawmaker calls Governor Kim Reynolds to remove Satanic Temple's display from Capitol. Which say, why don't we remove all religious symbology from state capitals? How about that? I mean, really? Satanic display placed in the Iowa Capitol is unconstitutional, and that goes for the pride flag too, to be fair, and like every religious symbol. In the Iowa Capitol is unconstitutional since an Eastern Iowa lawmaker who's calling on Governor Kim Reynolds to order its removal. An December 8th edition of the Sherman Liberty Letter, Rep. Brad Sherman, whose district covers Iowa County and part of Johnson County, also calls for clarifying legislation be adopted in accordance with our state constitution that prohibits satanic displays in our Capitol building and all state-owned property, except, you fucking idiot, freedom of religion. However, if you're going to say, if anything, the government should remove all religious symbology. That would be the best thing to do in this situation. But this guy apparently is a pastor and an idiot, and he wants to put the 10 Commandments in places and just remove the statue. But the statue is phenomenal. I wish that photo right there. Yeah, look at that thing. I mean, it is that's all there. I wish I could zoom in more. Yeah, the Satanic Temple. I guess the Satanic Temple, but this display is not owned, maintained, promoted, supported by, or associated with the state of Iowa. So is it there for an art display? Like, and I get that the Satanic Temple is a bunch of idiots anyways. I used to enjoy things like that were mocking mainstream culture and such, but now I'm just, no, they're idiots. Mostly not big on it. Cyber attack predicted before elections, false flag to implement martial law. I mean, who knows, man? I'm gonna be happy if, like, you know, there aren't like nuclear weapons flying come election time, to be honest with you. That would be like, I have a pretty low threshold for what I think is going to be a good outcome for 2024. And yeah, I mean, that's very possible, dude. I did see some stuff recently about claims that China was attacking infrastructure stuff, which is like control rooms. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to really speak on it other than I'm pretty sure everything's going to happen next year because everybody's going to try to pull out every single stop to get to not have to give Trump any chance. It's going to be just constant barrage of lawsuits and bullshit and allegations, and people from 65 years ago are going to be like, he touched my leg inappropriately when I was in kindergarten and I just remembered in a dream. It's going to be ridiculous. Sean said redacted today with Whitney Webb. Was that what they were talking about? I mean, because that wouldn't surprise me, dude. That's like I would not at all be shocked. Here we go. Let's talk about somebody I can actually agree with for a minute here. And no, I'm not talking about the local officials. I'm talking about the man defending himself. Pennsylvania man takes local officials to court for First Amendment right infringement over front yard sign. That's right. Pennsylvania man is taking Oliphant Borough officials to court after a sign he erected on his front property that reads "Fuck the government" was deemed illegal, allegedly infringing on the homeowner's First Amendment right. As Marine veteran Dave Blyler, his attorney, said, understands how important it is to express one's criticism of the government as a foundation for American values that soldiers have died to protect. After growing frustrated with local government officials over the past several years, Blyler and his family wanted to speak out and criticize them by erecting a 4x8-foot sign in the front of their house. So basically, they nailed a sheet of plywood up and painted it, is what they mean by erected a sign that was 4x8. The sign read, "Fuck the government." The borough officials would not let that stand. Oliphant borough officials sent a notice to the Blyer family, informing them that they were violating the borough's sign ordinance. Blyers were told if they did not take the sign down, they would be taken to court and could be fined $500 each day if a judge finds them in violation of the sign ordinance. The family also claims they were targeted by local government as other homes in the neighborhood have had to appear signs that did not receive a permit to post. The borough only permits residents to have one sign on their property, which cannot be larger than 6 square feet. Must be submitted to the borough for approval. That's a large political sign for a candidate or party or religious sign. Those would all be unlawful under this ordinance, and that's a violation of the First Amendment. Attorney Eric Sell, Center of American Liberty, which represents the Blyler family. Residents are also required to pay $40 to erect the sign and must wait for an unspecified amount of time for the government to review and approve the sign permit, which is complete bullshit. You should be able to do it on your me see it coming. That's yeah, that is the scoops. I mean, wouldn't be surprised. I've heard there's been some stuff going on like that. While residents are required to go through this process, the borough is not subject to the ordinance, is permitted to post as many signs as they want. Yeah, just one of those, like, yeah, you can't put your own sign up on your own property, but we believe in freedom, I promise. Yeah, let me check. Got a message in, it could be a good one. Oh man, I might have to check up. I might have to check a couple of these because looks like Matt's sending me some funny shit during the show. Anyways, yeah, for those who didn't know, Obama produced a movie. Because what else do you do, I guess? But yeah, Fox News losing its mind. This is from The Beast. So this is a far left outlet reacting to Fox News, which is like moderate, but they pretend it's far right for some reason. Anyways, Fox News loses its mind over Obama's anti-white Netflix film. 14 years after then, Fox News star Glenn Beck made headlines by calling Barack Obama a racist who has a deep-seated hatred for white people. The right-wing network is still warning its viewers that the ex-president is trying to indoctrinate Americans with his anti-white racism. I love how they put anti-white in quotations, like it's not a real thing. Like, you can't be racist towards white people. Because in these people's views, you can't. And to be very, very clear, the white people are the oppressor every time in their scenario, so therefore they are the only ones who can be racist, and you can't be racist if you're oppressed, because then you're just fighting oppression. And the real truth is, when they say anti-white, they don't actually mean anti-white. They mean anti-capitalism. It's socialist newspeak. And Yeah, that's basically what they're saying. To prove this point, this time around, the conservative cable giant's pointing out the post-apocalyptic film Leave the World Behind, which was produced by Obama's Higher Ground Productions and currently streaming on Netflix. Because I guess that's what you do when you're a former president and you have a bunch of money that you got somehow by not doing politics, by getting paid way too much for speaking appearances and selling books and other shit. You just have so much money and you're like, you know what I want to do? I think we should start producing movies. So yeah, let's start investing in some movies. And my name's attached, so a bunch of idiots will go watch this because that's what happens. Yes, Leave the World Behind. Obama's Higher Ground Productions, which obviously is not named after his Martha's Vineyard home, because that's going to be Underwater Productions, according to the science. At one point in the movie, a black character warns her father about not trusting white people during a disaster. Which, I mean, like, the question is, would it have been all right the other way? And that's what I ask myself every time in one of these situations. And, oh, Russia. It's going to be Russia. I was assuming it would have been China. But, I mean, either could happen. I don't know why Russia would try to insert them. Oh, actually, no, I do. Now that I figured it out. Yeah, Russia does not want Trump to win. They want another 4 years of Democrats that will just throw money in Ukraine that they can then go over and steal. That's exactly what Russia wants. Yep. Sorry. Sometimes the narrative washes over a bit and then I just have to like snap out like, oh, okay. Yep. No, that's why. They don't want Trump to win. Yes. Following the science. Yeah. No, I don't want Trump to win. They want another 4 years of Democratic wishy-washiness so they can continue to hold their place in Ukraine long enough that it becomes theirs. Everybody stops caring. Follow the science or the money, and you'll figure out what's going on. Latest freak out is in the case with many of these news cycles in the right-wing outrage industrial complex. Bubbled up on, which is super funny because that's literally the entire mainstream media except left-wing. And most of these places aren't even that right-wing. Yeah. These people call Fox News right-wing, which is like hysterical. Because they're like a moderate right at best, completely controlled democratic conservatism. And by democratic conservatism, I mean people who pretend to be the conservatives that are actually Democrats, like Chris Christie. That's like what their network is. Star-studded film, an adaptation of the 2020 best-selling book of the same name, features Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, and Mahershala Ali. Thriller has been equally polarizing among critics and audiences, with much of the criticism directed at its languid pace, simplistic themes, and frustrating ending. The Daily Beast Coleman, it sounds fantastic. Thank you for making it sound so good. Their MSN. The Daily Beast Coleman Spell for an instance labeled it an excruciatingly dull film that knows how to amplify tension without answering questions or saying anything new. Much of the film's suspense centers around Julia Roberts' character concern and distrust when during an explained disaster, a black man and his daughter show up in the middle of the night at the house their family had rented, claiming to be the owner. Like, you'd think you would know the owner, unless it was just like an Airbnb, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so they question them, and then in this one particular scene, that's raised right-wing hackles at one point, when it appears society is fully collapsing. Ruth, played by Myha'la Herald, sorry if I mispronounced her name, I don't mean to, turns to her father and issues a warning. Remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. She says, even mom would agree on that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you shouldn't trust anybody easily, especially people that are not the same. Am I allowed to say that? Like that, and that's where I am. Is like, I mean, if the white person in the movie said that about people of other races, you immediately know they're the bad guy, right? So that makes me like wonder: is that part of the point? Are they pointing at that? I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care. I'm more just like wondering why a former president's wasting his time producing films. I don't know, instead of maybe doing something real. Here we go. Oh, the Babylon Bee for the win. Claudine Gay responds to plagiarism accusations by giving her inspiring "I have a dream" speech. Yeah, I love you, Babylon Bee. Cambridge, Mass. Controversy continued to swirl at Harvard University after the school board expressed unanimous support for its embattled leader. President Claudine Gay responded to people calling her for her removal by a rousing original speech she wrote called "I Have a Dream." "This is something I just wrote last night to inspire others," Gay said. "It's my hope that this speech, which I wrote entirely myself, will help other people stand up under unjust oppression, just as I have over the last week." Gay then took a piece of paper from her pocket, unfolded it, and recited one of the most inspirational speeches anyone ever heard. "I don't remember hearing someone speak with such conviction," said one member of the audience. "Actually, there does feel like there's something familiar about it, but wow, what a great speech." Harvard and its president have come under heavy fire following controversial statements made during a congressional hearing regarding anti-Semitism on college campuses, along with allegations of plagiarism on the part of Gay. As part of her speech, Gay expressed a desire to move forward to a brighter future. "I have a dream," she said, drawing impassioned gasps from the crowd. And yeah, they keep saying like alleged that she plagiarized, but I'm pretty sure one of the outlets put together a very good side-by-side. Publishing Time, school officials, and journalists hailed the speech, turning the point in the situation. "This will truly be about healing," said another attendee. "This was the type of speech you would expect to hear from a prominent social figure standing on the steps of a national landmark or something amazing." Yeah, I assume that it went like, "I have a dream that people will no longer be judged by their character, but only by their race, sex, or orientation." Roseanne is slaying it hard. Yes, she is. Yeah, Roseanne's been killing it lately. And I love that lady. I will never stop loving that lady. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. More news about the Media Matters bullshit going on. That's from Kanoka the Great. New. The Media Matters employee being sued by Elon Musk and at X refreshed a Fringe video on Rumble more than 70 times until he found a Netflix ad. Despite being the only person to view that Netflix ad next to that video, he wrote an article falsely suggesting that Netflix ads regularly appear next to Fringe content on Rumble, pressuring advisors to drop the platform. On X, IBM, Comcast, and Oracle had their ads appear alongside Fringe content for only one person, that same Media Matters employee, out of more than 500 million active users on the platform. The same Media Matters employee has written nearly a dozen articles pressuring advertisers to pull their support from X since Elon Musk bought the company, intentionally fabricating defamatory material to pressure advertisers to pull their support from free speech platforms is evil. And here it is. Media Matters X playbook implemented against Rumble, engineering algorithms, fake ad placements to pressure advertisers to remove themselves from the equation. This is the way they do it. It's quite literally evil. 37. Over time, they refined their methods. Not only were they capturing ads that appeared organically on the sites they sought to take down, but they also manufactured ad placements they knew advertisers would find problematic. Tactic the defendants in Media Matters will still employ today. They create fake X profiles and visit sites, particularly controversial content creators, continually refreshing those pages until ads for large brands appear. For example, in March 2023, Netflix stopped advertising on Rumble after Media Matters engineered it so that Netflix ads would appear on a user-generated video on Rumble expressing anti-Semitic views. It's too bad they were too early. That would have been promoted like this past week. Media Matters staff repeatedly refreshed the user-generated video, in some cases more than 70 times, causing Rumble's advertising system to serve different advertisements until Media Matters found one that it could use as fodder for its public pressure campaign. As it turned out, the Media Matters employee engaging in this tactic was the only one to actually view the Netflix ad on the video, and once Rumble had learned about this, yeah. Like, mind-boggling. That's exactly what they're doing. Yep. Same playbook, Elon comments, and yep, and then the clip of Alex Jones, Musk, Tate, and Gates all on there. I think she kneecapped Bill Maher. I mean, that's not hard, really. I mean, that guy's an ass clown most of the time. He has a few funny takes. He made that idiot cry on his show because he made a bad transgender joke, so I guess there's that. I forget who that one is. Wasn't she the actress who's now making a living selling pictures of her chocolate starfish on OnlyFans? I think. I don't know. I wouldn't pay to see that garbage. Uh, who cares? Here was an interesting one from earlier today. Heartland Rasmussen poll. 1 in 5 mail-in voters admit to committing at least one kind of voter fraud during the 2020 election. The results of these surveys appear to show that voter fraud was widespread in the 2020 election, especially among those who cast mail-in ballots. New poll by the Heartland Institute and Rasmussen reports found 1 in 5 voters cast mail-in ballots during 2020 presidential election admit to participating in at least one kind of voter fraud. Holy shit. When asked during the 2020 election, did you fill out a ballot in part or in full or on behalf of a friend or family member, such as a spouse or child? 21% of respondents said who said they voted by mail said yes. Filling out a ballot for someone else is illegal in all states, although many states allow people to assist others with voting. Additionally, 17% of mail-in voters said they voted in a state where they were no longer a permanent resident. And people admitted to this shit. 17% of mail-in voters also admitted to signing, quote, ballot or ballot envelope on behalf of a friend or family member, both voting in the state where you were no longer a permanent resident and forging a signature on a ballot or ballot envelope or fraudulent activities that invalidate votes when caught by election officials. According to election data, more than 43% of 2020 voters cast ballots by mail, the highest percentage in U.S. history. Yeah, because that's what we were encouraged to do because we had the sniffles. Further, 10% of all respondents, not just those who said they voted by mail, claimed they knew a friend, a family member, coworker, or other acquaintance who had admitted that he or she cast mail-in ballots in 2020 in a state other than his or her permanent residence. 8% of all respondents said a friend, family member, organization such as a political party offered them pay or reward for agreeing to vote in the 2020 election. 8%. That's huge. Taken together, the results of these surveys questioned appeared to show voter fraud was widespread in the 2020 election, especially among those who casted mail-in ballots. The poll of 1,085 likely voters was conducted from November 30th to December 6, 2023. Among those surveyed in the poll, 33% were Republicans, 36% were Democrat, and 31% were other. And then breaks down the age. The following statements from the policy experts at the Heartland Institute, a free market think tank, may be used for attribution. If you'd like to interview Heartland Institute expert on this topic or other, please reach out to Justin Haskins. Yeah. The results of the survey are nothing short of stunning. For the past 3 years, America had repeatedly been told that 2020 election was the most secure in history. But if this poll's findings are reflective of reality, the exact opposite is true. It's true this conclusion isn't based on conspiracy theories or suspect evidence, but rather from responses made directly by the voters themselves. Democratic Republic cannot survive if election laws allows voters to commit fraud easily. That's exactly what occurred during the 2020 election. Although some progress has been made in more than a dozen states since the conclusion of the 2020 election, with much more work is needed in most regions of the U.S. If America's elections laws do not improve soon, voters and politicians will continue to question the truthfulness and fairness of all elections. Justin Haskins, Director, Socialism Research Center, the Heartland Institute. This is a dude who's from the Socialism Research Center questioning this. This guy is from the Heartland Institute. It says the 2020 election was unlike any other. Tens of millions of Americans voted by mail due to the pandemic. Past few presidential elections have been razor thin, and signs point 2024 being another closely contested. Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, what if we got rid of Google for a year? Would it be paper thin anymore? I would argue that no. I can't say that out loud. My phone just tried to search something. Yep. Wild, man. A bunch of wild quotes here that I don't even know if I'm allowed to read, but here we are. I'm not asserting anything myself, friends. I'm reading it right from the horse's mouth, and the survey says that 1 in 5 mail-in voters. I would love to see this expanded on. This is fascinating. This doesn't say that without context. It's meaningless. College students often vote in their home state. They reside in the state the college is in. Yep. I mean, it could be nothing. It's kind of wild, though. Let's see. Your state banned mail-in balloting this next year's presidential campaign election. Would you choose to vote in person or would you choose to not vote at all? 94 would vote in person. We're going to ask several questions. 2020, 45% Trump, 46% Biden, 4% other, 3 didn't vote, 1 not sure. Do you vote with absentee or mail-in? 30% yes. During the 2020 election, did a friend or family member fill out your ballot in part or in full? Yes, 19%. During the 2020 election, did you cast a mail-in ballot in a state where you're no longer a permanent resident? 17% said yes. During the 2020 election, did you sign a ballot or envelope on behalf of a friend or family member with or without his or her permission? 17% yes. During the 2020 election, did a friend, family member, or organization such as a political party offer you pay or reward for you voting? 8% said yes. That's mind-boggling. That's cool. Do you know a friend, family member, coworker, or other acquaintance who has admitted to you that he or she cast a mail-in ballot in 2020 in a state other than hers or her permanent state of residence? 10% said yes. Do you know a friend, family member, coworker, or other acquaintances who admitted to you that she or she filled out a ballot on behalf of another person? 11% said yes. Plus or minus 30%, 3 percentage points for error, 95% level of confidence. That's mind-boggling. I can't wait to see that get spun around 20 different ways and how those responses go. That'll be cute. Yeah, I got like 2 more, and then we're gonna share my video, and then I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And next week I'll be back with Santa, and yeah, excited. So I'm gonna share this one. This one is I need me some audios for this one because I gotta. This lady, this makes me sad in my heart a little bit. Because I wanna slap her and be like, hey bitch, I'm a creative. I create as multiple characters and still manage time and work a 50-hour-a-week plus job. So shut your mouth.
9 to 5. I know this is gonna sound spoiled. I know this is gonna sound like some artsy creative who, just doesn't want to put in the hard work and hours, but I physically do not think I can do it. I start to cry if I have more than like 3 non-creative tasks to do in a day. And imagining doing 8 hours a day of something that I don't really love for the rest of my life. So there's no other option. This has to work. This is gonna sound even more artsy and arrogant, but I heard this quote in a show once, and it said, people like us can't live normal lives. If we try, it kills us. And honestly, I am throwing myself into that category.
Even though she has no idea because she's never tried hard at anything in her life. Because she can't even work a job to pay bills to feed herself.
Because I think I will simply die.
Yeah. And maybe she will. And if so, we should encourage her to try. Because it would be an interesting case study. At the very least. That's what I'm saying. But what a bunch of useless people this generation's turned out. Like, holy shit, man. I don't think I can work a whole 9 to 5. I might die. No, you'll probably grow to be a better person for actually doing something difficult that you don't like. It's kind of what we've all had to do. Anyways, I got one last one. This is completely non-political related, but I thought it was a really interesting story. Got published this last week on Music Radar. Just to point out the danger of some idiots in charge. The union passed a motion. Yeah, this is Music Radar. The union passed a motion to ban the use of synths, drums machines, and any electronic devices. The day the loony musician unions tried to kill the synthesizer, which also happened to be Bob Moog's birthday. And it wasn't the first time the UK union had it in for technology. Can you imagine? I mean, all the good music would have just got made everywhere else like it did, I guess, to be fair. We've long heard strange stories in our time, but this one sounds like a tale so long, it must surely be made up, only it's not. Back in 1982, the Musicians Union in the UK, while claiming to be working in the interests of its members, tried to ban the synthesizer and other tech music gear. That's right, a union working for musicians banned a musical instrument. Well, things were a lot different back then. In the early 1980s in the UK, the Musicians Union was often in the headlines. In 1981, for example, the most vocal of unions, along with the British Phonographic Industry and Music Publishers Association, took an advert out in The Guardian and The Times claiming that home taping is wiping out music. These ads were meant to wage war on evil pirates who were using cassettes to record vinyl records, threatening the livelihoods of the music business, which from memory seemed to be doing very well for itself at the time. The problem was the vast majority of the home taping was done by people like us who were recording vinyl we'd already bought or making the compilation tapes. Remember those? For mates who... yeah, compilations. Oh, good times. The campaign was then essentially a waste of time and energy and greeted with dismay. Indeed, we also recall another ad aimed at evil home recordists titled Home Taping is Killing Music, presumably put out by the same team. Then some clever wag changed to Home Taping is Skill in Music. That was the kids sticking up for the grown-ups in the 80s. 1982, the MU went further again. Apparently, in the interest of its members, the union decided to try and ban synthesizers and drum machines, which it feared were literally taking food out of the mouths of real players. So how did this ridiculous state of affairs come about? Believe it or not, and we really do believe this, it was all down to crooner extraordinaire Barry Manilow. Manilow had replaced several orchestral players with synthesizers for a tour, putting single players in a work while taking string players out of work. The MU was furious. On 23rd of May 1982, Bob Moo's birthday, nonetheless, the organization passed a motion for an outright ban on synthesizers. In the excellent book From Club Culture to Style Culture, The Story of the New Romantics, author Dylan Jones summed up what happened. In 82, the synth had become so pervasive when Barry Manilow toured in the UK in January, he used synths to simulate the orchestral sounds of a big band, after which the union passed a motion to ban the use of synths, drum machines, any other electronic devices capable of recreating the sounds of conventional music instruments. They were particularly concerned about the possible effects on the West End theatrical productions, imagining orchestra pits full of technicians instead of musicians. According to MU history, it was never actual MU policy, but an executive committee did pass a resolution to ban synths later that year. Wild, right? After show, is the Rumble compromised? Bring back the Pony Express. Yeah, we'll be over there for a few minutes, that's for sure. Which means we're about to get to it. Holy crap. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a fun show. Ben dropped by. Thank you, Ben. COVID cabana. Anyways, I'm gonna share I'll share a short clip of what I got edited together for the Christmas baby music video. And yeah, it's going to change a bit, which is why I'm sharing it. And it's really early. This was filmed, and I literally took 20 minutes together to cut it together earlier. And yeah, let's see. I actually haven't even watched it since it rendered. So yeah, this is the first draft, which will change many more times. The song's done, but the video, first draft. Let's go. I know there's a lot of bullshit going on this time of year. Sitting out here, looking at all these fucking commercials and ads. All these companies, I don't give a shit. Just trying to make a quick buck. But I figured I'd take time to say something I wouldn't normally say.
Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed me, babe. I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby.
Jingle bells turns to commercial shit just like Taco Bell. The kids say the Batman smells, but we all know the fat man sells. I've been doing my best to be nice, keep myself up at hell. It's not that I'm scared of going, I'm afraid I'll do too well. Terrified that's where I'll be when I finally find myself. And that's why I'm talking to you, cause I don't know who else to tell. And I'm turning around real good, and I'm trying to do real well. But sometimes when I watch Shameless, man, it feels like I watch myself. But then I fell in love, now here we are. I'm writing a Christmas song in the snow outside of the car. And I don't know about us, and I don't know who we are, but I know I want you around, and you did not go too far. And I don't know what to say, babe, it's too much to go through. What you gotta do with bad news, take a bruise, looking to affect you. And all I wanted to say is Merry fucking Christmas, baby. Guess all I really wanted to say is I've been thinking about you lately.
Well, I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed me, babe. I just wanna say here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby.
Been dreaming about no flights, fantasizing about a silent night for all the bullshit to drown out when the fat man finally thinks legs. The fat lady will sing, but you know it's likely she just might get winded, not finished, and I just want it to be over tonight. Wrap some gifts and stuck them under a tree that make Charlie Brown sad. My gifts will be the ones wrapped with duct tape in a trash bag. I think that's what I deserve when I think about what I could have had if I'd focused, paid attention, showed emotion more than I just got mad. Then I fell in love, and I knew who we were. We were wassail on the weekends, getting whiskey slurred, and now it seems so long ago as the smell the bourbon of her. How did I fuck this up so bad, saying I can't be heard? And I don't know what to say, babe, it's too much to go through. You get screwed, you can barely choose, pay your dues, it's just for shit news. And I just wanted to say, fucking miss Christmas, baby. I guess I've been thinking about the old me a little too much lately.
I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. I just wanna say, here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby. I've been thinking about Christmas, baby. Thought it was bullshit, but I've changed, maybe. I just wanna say, here on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you and Santa, baby.
Yeah. First draft, not bad for like 10 minutes of editing and a couple hours of shooting yesterday. Anyways, that's all I got in this one. Thank you guys for joining me. Next week we'll be back for episode 5 featuring Saucy Santa. We'll be taking call-ins and your questions, concerns, comments, and inquiry. That's all for this one. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys over on the after show. Until then, Drunk Magician out. Cheers.
Above all else, I just want to say thank you. Have a beautiful night. Drunk Magician out. Cheers. Now let's get the credits. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate the help.